Hello future people, welcome to Getting Tabled. I'm Jason the Bruce, and today, we're the Ratcatcher. So, about a month ago, we had an interview with Platypus Industries, where we talked about his current Kickstarter that's about to launch, called Drop Bear, and his original one called Ratcatcher, which is a one-player adventure. So this is a game that I had a look at and was like, you know what, I'm kind of curious. So in this box we have a copy of that we're going to check out, give you a bit of an idea of what the quality is that you should be expecting from Drop Bear, though Drop Bear will have some improvements and some changes in the gameplay. But on top of that, there's also some resin prototypes in here for Drop Bear, which will not be shown off today, but they will be shown off tomorrow. Alright, so here we go. This is just the outside packaging. One thing that Matt did say is that he's quite fastidious with his packaging. I'm pretty sure fastidious is the word that he used. If not, I'm sure I'll correct myself. This is already a pretty good sign. We got corner protectors and everything on it. So, these... Oh, that's nice. I wasn't expecting that. These are the resin prototypes that we'll be showing off in tomorrow's video. The Ratcatcher. As I explained originally, it's a solo adventure game, so you're playing this by yourself. And this particular artwork, I'm a huge fan of. Now, one thing that I was not aware until I spoke with Matthew is this artwork is actually reminiscent of what the artwork would have looked like in the period that it's based on in time. Solo play, 30 to 45 minutes. Ages 12 and up, so that's about what you would expect. On the other side, kind of a similar feel, but just rotated a little differently. Kind of similar feel on the top. So, first things first. The actual box is a really not like it's a box, but this is actually quite thick card. Like, this isn't cheap like a lot of the Kickstarter stuff that you come across. And just to reiterate that, like seriously, it's actually a nice quality box. Some card tokens here. No, wooden tokens. Sorry, I stand corrected. So this is printed on MDF by the look of it. So that's the rat cage. This is where you put your rats when you catch them. By the look of it, I don't think you actually need to use glue on this. It's going to be interesting to see. Rulebook. So again, artwork reminiscent of the time. Nicely laid out game contents. A bit of the story. I love that it's tail, but it's spelt the wrong way, obviously on purpose. Your usual how to read things and how to set the game up. It's definitely laid out quite nicely, which is good. I mean, you need it to be, so. I quite like the look of this. Now, this is something that I do intend to play. And when I do play it, I will most likely be featuring it on my Twitch channel. If you're the sort of person that's into Twitch, give me a follow. twitch.tv/Jason the Bruce. It's down there on the bottom. I also have a game of Nemesis that'll be coming up at some stage soon. So, because of the weird box size, obviously you've got a weird book size, but in all honesty, it's a really nice book. So you've got pieces, you've got slots in here for either things that are not in the box or things that we... Okay, so that's for your tokens that are underneath. That appears to be for your dice. And then this is for your rats. So he's made allowances so that everything will still fit in the box. Alright. Nice thick card. That was the thing that was going to be the questioning thing. This is the easiest place for most people to skimp out when it comes to things like that, is your tokens. It's all printed nice and neatly. It's in there nice and firm, nothing's falling out, but it still pops out quite nicely. So that's nice. What else do we have underneath here? These are our character cards. So we've got Miss Black and her stats. This is all double-sided. So that's quite nice. This is actually, I don't know how clear that is on camera, but it's all literally double-sided. No part of this moves, but this is very clearly so that your tokens and everything fit. It does have a little bit of a curve, but that'll flatten out in time. Pied Piper. So these are your characters that you're playing at, quite obviously. Madam Cage. I'm just browsing through these, but obviously if you do see a character that you'd like to read more about, feel free to pause the video. Sister Constantine. Professor Fume, who looks like a rat in this picture. I presume that he's not. This is one of the nemesis, or the nemesis, the abyssal rat. They are laid out a little bit differently. These are not two layered, it is just one layer on these ones. And the Rat King. This is the one that we saw the artwork for during the interview. Oh, they're double-sided. So we've also got the Brood Mother and the Maw. Now, when it comes to things like that, usually what you want to end up doing, get them so that you've got the folds going both ways if possible. Put a heavy book on top of them and leave them there overnight. We have some wooden meeples. So these are our nemesis rats. The same artwork. Really, really gorgeous. It actually prints out quite clearly. Printing on wood in colour is not always the best thing. Not quite centered on that one, but you're not losing any of the artwork. It's just right on the edge. It's gotten a bit lucky there because it could have very easily cut off. But the quality of the printing on this is what I'm amazed at. We also have meeples for our characters. So that was the sister. I'm not going to remember all of these names. I'm forgetting some of them already. That was the Fume guy. That's clearly the Pied Piper. The printing on these is really nice. Different coloured wood, which is probably important because that way you can tell exactly what you're looking at. And these are your meeples for the rats. Now these are obviously quite simple because this is just the meeples for the game itself. You've got different coloured ones, I assume to represent different types of rats that you've captured. Oh, really nice. I've also got some bonuses. We've also got a little printed Hessian bag. Feels quite appropriate for the time. So, here we have our cheese tokens. Now there is an upgrade available for these, which makes them wood meeples like everything else. Personally, I actually really like this clear blue plastic ones. It's all sparkly, and I actually think that adds a little something to it. I actually quite like these. Now, obviously, board game aficionados are probably going to want to prefer the wooden ones, because board game folks tend to prefer wooden meeples for a lot of this stuff. Personally, I really like this. Little cubes for obviously counting certain things. So if I pull out one of the character boards, my assumption is that these fit in here. I'll find out when I look into it a little closer. So, this is the big thing. We've got some new dice here. Do these dice hate me or not? People that are new to the channel probably don't know this, but I have a notorious history with dice, especially D6s, that they don't like me. These, however, I've actually done quite well there. For me, there is quite a few twos, but generally speaking, I tend to roll a lot of ones. But that's actually quite a nice even spread. I don't get an even spread most of the time. And last but not least, we have another pack of cards here. So these, I assume, is the layout of the city. So these are tarot card size, I want to say. And yeah, these are randomly laid out, building your city as you go, telling you where things are supposed to be. The artwork on these is actually really nice. Like if we just take that one for example, it's all laid out really, really nicely. It kind of feels like artwork that you'd find in one of the Grimm, is it Grimm Brothers, the old nursery rhymes? It kind of feels a little bit like that. And that carries on until you reach cards for the common rats, the gut tracker, backer rat, filthy snitch, golden fleeced rat, rat of nine tails, which I think might be my favourite, the mad ratter, the cheese mancer, patient zero, very appropriate given the timing of it. Another favourite of mine, the Platypus, the Rattergeist. We've got a pie rat, the drop rat, because obviously the drop bear, and the Ratsalotl, the Ratsacotl. So those are your peculiar rats, which are little odd rats that kind of appear up in the story at points. Let's see how easy this is to build. There is tape underneath here on the bottom to make sure everything stays in place. That's probably a smart choice. The big question I was going to have when I saw the tape is whether it would pull the artwork off, but thankfully I can confirm that it doesn't. Yeah, it holds together quite well too. It probably would hold a little bit tighter with some glue, but in all honesty, I'm shaking that quite hard. I mean, I could take that apart if I wanted to, but it's holding together on its own quite nicely. He's done that well. So there we go. That's Ratcatcher. Really impressed with what I'm seeing so far. Everything looks like it's really good quality. As for the game itself, we will find out on Twitch soon. Thank you very much for checking out this video. If you're enjoying the content of this channel, please like and subscribe. If you're in a position to do so, please check out patreon.com/gettingtabled. You receive early access to at least 80% of all videos that we put out, and you get access to the video edition of all of our podcasts the day that they're uploaded. If you'd like to check us out on social media, facebook.com/gettingtabled is the most active. We also have a Discord server. You can email our team at gettingtabled@gmail.com. If you're on either Twitter or Instagram, you can find us at gettingtabled. And until next time,